As a streamer, yes, by all means, you can dive right into this game. People want to see you. If you're streaming, people want to see you stream on a specific date. They take time out of their day to watch you. If they want me to play Zarya, I'll play it. And I think sometimes that can have an impact. But at the same time, most of the people that watch in the chat know that, hey, he might have to switch. Just run away with the time.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the StreamKey podcast. This is episode 22. This is our weekly show here at TRUgaming, where we talk with streamers on Twitch about ways to improve as a streamer, whether you're looking to improve your energy on stream, to get better at a certain game in terms of streaming that game, or whatever. And this week we're doing something a little bit different, which I'm really excited about. We actually had ICrazyJI on, who is a new TRUgaming sponsored streamer. But we're starting this new series, I believe I'm going to call it Going Deep, something like that, where basically we go through specific games and look at ways to become a better streamer in that game specifically. So if you are a League of Legends streamer mostly, or Overwatch in this case, these are the types of episodes that you want to hear to really get the most for your type of game as a streamer. This week, like I said, is Overwatch. And ICrazyJI is an Overwatch streamer, has been for almost a year now. He is an affiliate, and he actually just got rated by Iddqd the other day with 2,000 something viewers. If you're an Overwatch streamer, you probably know who that is. Great McCree player, DPS main. Anyway, he had a lot to say about Overwatch streamers in particular, what you should be doing, how to interact with chat when you're trying to deal with 6 other teammates, and everything else going on in the game, and just everything you need to know as an Overwatch streamer to succeed in that directory, because there's a lot of streamers there, but you still can grow regardless of that. So as always, 3 things you'll learn on this episode of StreamKey. Number 1, you'll learn how to interact with chat when you're also trying to talk to teammates, focus on your shooting, talk with people in Discord, talk with people in the team chat. How do you do all those things while still engaging Twitch chat and keeping them interested in you? Number 2, you'll learn how to deal with toxicity in Overwatch. Overwatch is probably one of the more toxic games out there just because of public voice channels, things like that. So how do you deal with toxic teammates and even viewers as a streamer? Because you obviously don't want to give into that as a streamer. So what are some ways that we can kind of combat that and make sure that our stream is a positive place that doesn't fall into that? And number 3, you'll learn how maining a certain hero in Overwatch can benefit or not benefit you as a streamer. Basically, if you, for example, are a Widow main, like me, and you mostly just play Widow, that can be good for you as a streamer, or that can be bad depending on what you want to get out of your stream. So we talk a little bit about that and things that you should know if you're considering that. With that said, guys, we'll get right into the show. I hope you enjoy it and learn something as always. And if you do, please don't forget to reach out on Twitter to me, GreenChord, or TRUgaming, or leave a review on something like iTunes or whatever platform you're listening to. I'd love to hear from you guys, and if you have a specific game that you really want us to talk about, maybe you're a CSGO player, League of Legends, Fortnite, whatever, if you want us to do an entire episode on that game, let me know, because I would love to see what you guys want and give you that value that you need. So without further ado, jump right into StreamKey with ICrazyJI. Hello everybody, and welcome to the StreamKey podcast. Sorry for rolling the ad twice there, that was my bad. Today, I'm here with ICrazyJI. I'm super happy to have him on the show. Welcome to the show, my man.
Hey. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? How you doing today?
Hope you're all doing well. If you guys don't know StreamKey, this is our weekly show on Twitch and every other podcast platform where we talk to streamers about ways to improve as a streamer, whether you're looking to amp up your branding or, have more energy on stream. And this week's kind of special. We're starting this new sort of series. I think it'll probably end up being a series specifically about games on Twitch. So we talk a lot about broad strategies, right? Like energy applies to anything, branding applies to anything. But I thought it'd be really cool to go in deep on specific games. So if you are an Overwatch streamer this week, you're in luck, because I'm talking with ICrazy about ways to improve yourself as an Overwatch streamer in particular. Whether you play that game all the time and that's all you play, or you're a variety caster and sometimes you work it into your rotation, this is still going to be really helpful for you, I think. So really excited about it. But ICrazy, can you quickly just kind of tell everybody about yourself for those who maybe don't know you yet?
Yes, definitely. All right, so my name is CJ. I go by ICrazyJI. We'll get to that in a minute, how I got that name. But I am a Twitch streamer that streams mainly Overwatch. I started my first stream. It shows Twitch. Twitch actually shows that I did that the 30th of November. So about 4 months ago is when I started streaming. I do like all games, but Overwatch is very special to me. I can elaborate why. And I just have a lot of fun with the game. Myself, again, just a little bit about me. You guys may or may not know. I'm older than I look. I'm actually 41, 2 kids.
Wow.
And they love to play Overwatch as well. So, you know, I mean, that's basically it about me. And I love games. I mean, I love consoles. I love PC. I don't discriminate against any type of game that you want to play. If you want to play Overwatch, that's fine. If you like Mario games, I like those too. So, I mean, that's just about it.
That's awesome, man. So how long you say you've been on Twitch?
Since November the 30th, last year.
Okay, so not even a year yet. That's crazy. You've had some pretty great growth for how short you've been on the platform.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Another thing, guys, for anyone who hasn't seen the show before, the way this works is I'll talk to Crazy for about 40 minutes or so about Overwatch with some of my questions. But if you have a question for him or me about Overwatch streaming or just streaming in general, anything about streaming, save it till then, and I promise we'll get to that during that part of the show, about 12:40 or so if you're watching this live. So until then, we'll just kind of roll through my questions here. Some warm-up questions to start with. One question I ask everyone who comes on the show. Where did you get your username CrazyJI? ICrazyJI is the proper.
Well, the I's are supposed to be just the beginning of the end,
just brackets,
because the X's were already taken. And you know, I didn't want to do a capital X and then a small X and then a capital X, then a small X, and then I was like, you know what about I's? So let me put those there at the beginning and the end. And actually, it's supposed to be crazy and then hyphen then J, but that was taken. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have to come up with something else. So I did this and it worked.
There you go.
The reason I got that name is because my favorite genre, believe it or not, is fighting games. And growing up, I played Tekken. I played Street Fighter. I played just about every fighter. My favorite is Soul Calibur. And people always say, man, you're crazy. You come up with these crazy combos. That's crazy. Crazy techniques, crazy execution. So I was just like, okay, Crazy J. And left it there. And it just stuck. And it's been like that since I was like, I don't know, 12? 12 years old or something like that. So that it stuck.
That's awesome. Yeah, just one of those ones that, you know, you make as a kid and just never get rid of.
Right. Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's going to stick with me forever.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'll play games. I don't care how old I am. I don't care if I'm 90. If I live to be 90, hey, I'm still going to play games.
That's funny. See, I thought it was just, you know, CrazyJI, CJ. That seems super like obvious there, but that's cool to hear the story about it a little bit more.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool. So last little warm-up question for you. What is your favorite streaming memory on Twitch? Or do you have a favorite or maybe some favorites, just highlights in your Twitch career so far?
Yeah, actually there's a couple. One of them is that I was actually streaming and just talking about life in general, you know, and opening up about myself and just letting people know what type of person I am. You know, I'm pretty straightforward. And someone in the chat was like, you know what, you're already my favorite streamer. And when they said that, it made me pretty emotional. I actually had to turn on my webcam.
Oh wow!
For a second and go clean my face a little bit, and then come back. And you know, that really means a lot. You know, streaming is something I've always wanted to do. I just never had the time to do it, nor the funds to do it. You know, streaming isn't cheap. It's like anything. I mean, sometimes in order to get somewhere, you have to spend some money. And in order to get the real good stuff that you want, sometimes you have to spend more money than you thought you would. It's kind of like cameras.
Yep.
You get a camera, you get a lens, and then you think you're done, but you're not. And you know, now that I have the opportunity and the time in order to do something like this, I'm going full speed. And I love it.
That's awesome, man. I think it's one of those things that you can kind of start with, and then you kind of get addicted to it, and you want to spend more money on it. So I definitely get that. But yeah, those moments where you hear from your community that, you know, that you're their favorite streamer or whatever, that's just nothing like that, you know? That's so
right.
cool.
And I mean, you know, and I know that we'll probably talk about other streamers, but I mean, I'm small compared to some of these other guys out there. But you know what? I want to leave a lasting impact with my viewers. You know what I mean? I want them to come to my channel and be like, hey, even though he played and had a bad day, I still had a good time watching him play. You know what I mean? And as long as they feel welcome, that's my goal. I want to make sure they are welcome to my channel.
Right. Cool. Awesome. Well, so we'll get into the kind of meat of the discussion again, Overwatch this week. So let's kind of tack on an extra part of the questions I just asked you. So can you tell the stream just about your experience in Overwatch in particular, since this is really, it's all about Overwatch. So maybe, I know you moved from console to PC at one point, and you've been at a lot of different ranks. So can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah. So believe it or not, I have not been on PC. I still play PC, but I have not streamed it for some apparent reason. When I stream on PC, it's not working well. So I'm in the process of getting another PC. Sorry, everybody. I know I've been saying it for a while, but I've been busy. So sorry, chat. I've had, it's life. Things come up.
Yep.
But that being said, I've been grinding a lot in Overwatch. And just like everybody else, I started off in a low rank. I started off in bronze. And then as you play the game more and more, you get more experience. And then now my highest is diamond. I wish I could do better. This week I've had it's been disastrous. I went down to gold, now back to plat, and now I'm trying to get back to diamond. And it's been a nightmare. But the thing is that with Overwatch, it's one of those games where it's a team-based game. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. It is a team-based game, guys. And if you think that you could roll in there like a Call of Duty and I'll just say it, think that you're hot shit, it's not going to work. I'll say it right now. It's not going to work. You need a team in order to evolve in this game. You really do.
Right.
And with the experience I've been playing it since I didn't even play it during the beta. I didn't even play it during the launch period. I didn't start until late December of, that would be 2016, when the Year of the Rooster actually began. That's when I started playing Overwatch. So,
right, and it's been out, I guess, almost 2 years now. Is that right? Like next month, maybe?
Yeah. May is actually 2 years for Overwatch.
Okay, wow. So that's sort of a long time, and games just come and go so fast these days. Overwatch is one of those games, being a Blizzard game, that's probably gonna be around for a while. But still, compared to things like maybe Fortnite, it's not quite as new, and I don't know, it's not quite as much in the public eye. So first question I have for you related to this, with streaming in particular, do you think it's still possible to grow as an Overwatch streamer on Twitch? Now, the game's almost been out 2 years. It's a very saturated directory. Do you think it's still possible to start as a primary Overwatch streamer and grow?
Definitely. And the reason I say that is this. It's not slowing down anytime soon. And the reason is that you have 35 million plus people that play Overwatch. That's a significant and very huge number. And the cool thing about Overwatch is that you get characters for free. You get maps for free. You're not obligated to pay for any sort of DLC in order for you to play this game. And not only that, it has a great learning curve to it. So you can start off being a novice and playing someone such as Soldier 76. Then you could be like, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and evolve to a different character. And, that's what people want to see as a streamer. They want to see people sometimes start from the bottom and then work their way up. And back to your question and the initial answer, yes, by all means, you could definitely, you could get Overwatch today, hop in and start playing. And people love this game. There's something about this game, and it's whether it's the character design, whether it's because of the way that the game plays, because most first-person shooters, they rely heavily on having to reload, find bullets. You don't have to worry about that with Overwatch. You can just hop in and start playing, and you're not forced to play competitive mode. There's all different types of arcade modes that you could go ahead and play that people enjoy doing. So you're not forced to play competitive. You're not forced to play a specific mode. You could just go in there and again play something like Mystery Heroes or Total Mayhem or Deathmatch. And that right there brings us back. As far as streamers, it brings us back because there's going to be new content.
Yeah.
And there's these events that happen about every other month, like Year of the Dog, Year of the Rooster, Uprising, which is going to be the new one. Most likely it's going to be called Archives. Then you had the summer event. Then you had the winter event. Then you had the Halloween event. I mean, it's constantly something that is happening. And then you get skins, you know what I mean? And then you get new highlights. Then you get all types of little sprays and items. And that's what pulls you in. And as a streamer, yes, by all means, you can dive right into this game. No question. No question.
Awesome, man. So when you started streaming, did you start immediately with Overwatch all the time?
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay.
And there was just something about this game, because there were some things that happened in 2016. And I was like, you know what? Because the game sat on my shelf, believe it or not, guys, like most of my games, it sat on the shelf for a very long time. And then I was, like, you know what? I want to play something new. I want to try Overwatch because everyone's talking about it. Let me play Overwatch. And best decision I've made.
That's
best
awesome.
Decision I've made.
So when you started out with the stream, is there anything you did in particular with Overwatch to kind of work your way up the directory, whether it's, you got associated with a certain hero and people like watching that, or you were involved with certain communities or something? How did you kind of get those initial first viewers to come out to the stream as, someone starting at zero, specifically with Overwatch?
So the main thing, and I cannot stress this enough, and it's very important as a streamer, social media is your friend. As much as it could be your enemy, but it is your friend. What you need to do is get your name out there. Say that, look, I'm a new person getting ready to play Overwatch. Go ahead and join my channel, come to a friendly environment, teach me some things that you want, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out there that played the game 6 months prior to me playing it that could teach me some things. I also went online and I went to some of the Blizzard boards, and I also went online and saw some of the other streamers. And I like watching tournaments. It's a big part of my life. Watching a tournament to me is like watching a sport. So I will watch these tournaments and get strategies and techniques and implement that into my game. And then I started off with Soldier like everybody else would. Then I went to the one character that everybody hates, which is Widow, because you pick Widow, then that just automatically makes you a bad guy. So I got off Widow, and then I was told that no one likes to play tank. So then that's when I moved over to a different role, and Zarya is not my favorite character. But yes, you can always go ahead and learn new techniques by Twitter, Twitch, watching streamers, going to message boards, asking questions. People, they're more than willing to help you. And you can ask me now. I'm more than willing to give some advice. And if there's things that I don't know, give me advice. I am open to criticism, and I am willing to criticize you if needed. But not bad, but yeah. Just to help you out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any one thing maybe that you think made a big difference in terms of you saw, maybe social media, like Twitter specifically, or Instagram, like, hey, this is bringing a lot of people to my stream, anything like that?
Yes. As you can see, I'm decked out in Overwatch gear. I have a lot of it, a whole lot of it. One thing to do is that when you are making a tweet or taking a photo of Instagram, you always want to put tags. Believe it or not, they really do help, because people are going to see that tag. They're going to see you. They're going to see your stream link, and then they're going to want to click on it. And then when you're playing, you want to be like, hey, look, I'm live. I'm playing Overwatch. And a lot of people are like, hey, I found your channel just by going to your Instagram. I found your channel because somebody else was playing Overwatch and they told me to check you out. And that's the main thing. Again, I cannot express how much social media is.
Right.
It's very, I know some people may not have an Instagram. I know that some people may not have a Twitter. I will say that I probably use my Twitter more than my Facebook. Just for the simple fact that from the business side of things, Twitter is it. Twitter is where you want to go for everything, guys. Everybody has a Twitter. Not everybody has a Facebook, but everybody has a Twitter. Every business. I don't know one business that doesn't have a Twitter.
That's true. It sounds like, you mentioned gear in particular. That's really interesting. Like using Overwatch gear to kind of catch people's attention. That's really powerful. And I noticed that you have a lot of selfies in particular with like most of your tweets. You've got a very impressive selfie game. But what I've noticed is you almost always have Overwatch gear on. And that actually does catch your attention. So that's a really cool thing that, I hadn't thought of, wear an Overwatch hat or something, for example, but that actually does interest you in that person a little bit.
It does. It really does, because people are going to be like, hey, this person's really into Overwatch. They really like this game. Hey, and then they're like, hey, where'd you get the shirt? Maybe I can catch his stream and log onto his stream and ask him where he got that shirt from, because it's happened before. People are like, hey, like I've had private messages like, hey, by the way, where'd you get this Lucio shirt? Or where'd you get this hat? And, I talked to them and they're like, hey, you're really cool. Let me just go ahead and follow your channel too and watch you play Overwatch. So I always try to get something that's relative, related to the game that I'm going to be playing. So when God of War comes out, I'll probably get a God of War hat, God of War shirt, things like that. So.
Right. Awesome. Well, that's kind of a tangent, but I think it's a really interesting discussion here with networking in particular. Back into Overwatch a little bit more specifically here. So let's talk a little bit about competitive mode and ranks, things like that. How important is it to be a good player in some regard to grow as an Overwatch streamer? Because you've hit Diamond, which is not like, it's a pretty decent rank. You're not Grandmaster or top 500 or anything, but Diamond's better than most people. Do you think that has really helped you grow? And it is sort of, you see a lot of Overwatch streamers these days mostly are high rank. So do you think that's something that you really kind of have to work on, or can you get around it?
I personally think that it's one of those things to where I think that you possibly could get around, because I've seen other streamers to where they're at a gold rank and yet they have a ton of viewers. And the reason is the personality aspect of it. A lot of it, yes, it is your rank. And the thing is also, they want to see you succeed. They want to see you rank up. So if someone such as myself is at Diamond and I'm like, hey, let's go on the road to Masters. Let's see what we can do here. People are like, all right, let's see if you can do it. Let's go ahead and have them log in. I think it can play an important role, but at the same time, probably not. Some people don't like competitive mode. Some people are very reluctant to even go and try to select that mode for a lot of reasons. Maybe because they don't like talking on them. Maybe because they don't feel like that competitive is important to them. Maybe they just like the arcade aspect of it, of, again, a Mystery Heroes or a Total Mayhem. The rank itself, though, it can draw more of a crowd, I think, because they're like, hey, he's higher skilled than most people, therefore I can learn more. So it's kind of like a Jedi to a Padawan, per se. You know what I mean? You have the Jedi or the Sith, who's the more powerful, and then you have the one that's younger, that's wanting to learn. And I think, again, that's where it could come into play. To a degree.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think you see a lot of streamers out there, specifically in the Overwatch directory, who are known for being really high rank, and then we'll kind of get into this discussion too, being really good at one hero or maybe a couple heroes. And I know you, like you mentioned, you've kind of been known as the Zarya player recently and have really taken that on. Do you think it's helped you a lot grow your channel?
Yes. I say that because there's not a lot of Zarya players. There's not a lot of tank mains. Everybody wants to play a DPS and everybody wants to shoot things and blow things up. As with Zarya, she can't do that. Tanks really don't do that. Supports get a bad rap. I'll tell you that right now. All supports get a bad rap. If you're a one-trick Mercy main, I will never hate you for it. I think it's ludicrous. I think it's BS that people shun those type of people away. Myself personally, I like to play all tanks, whether it's Winston, whether it's Orisa. I try to fulfill the role. I mean, there's plenty of times where there was a guy that was very salty that he did not get to play Diva. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's really upset that he can't play Diva, and was getting ready to throw the game, believe it or not. So I got off my tank role and actually supported with Ana, which, again, I don't have a problem with. I'm like, look, I'll just go ahead and play support. And then we were losing, so then I switched to Moira, and then we ended up winning the game. And, it's very hard to find someone in the tank role that likes to main tank. Like, I had some people join my channel, and they're like, dude, you're a tank main? They're like, yeah, I'll stay just because you're a tank main. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So, yeah, I think that the role sometimes can play a big part of it as well. And I like playing tanks. I think they're just as important as any other skill in the game. Yeah,
I totally agree. And I think if you're a combination of being a high rank player and known for one hero or a couple of heroes, do you think that really helps you? Because in my mind, you see some of these top tier Overwatch streamers, Tim's kind of his own thing at this point. But you've got Kefri, who's sort of the Widowmaker guy. Shadow 2K is the Genji guy. Raksu is the Hanzu guy. Like, these guys are all known for one special hero, which I think if you're looking to grow your channel, that's really strong because people know you as that guy and they'll come out and watch your stream. But question for you, do you ever get people who kind of complain that you're not playing Zarya if you play something like an Ana, for example, or whatever?
Well, believe it or not, the other day I picked a different character and the guy was like, man, I want you to go ahead and play Zarya again.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he wasn't upset that I did it. The thing is that certain heroes are situational. Like, Zarya's not good on every map. There's just certain angles to where she cannot reach, or it depends on the composition as well. So let's say, for instance, that someone is a Roadhog and I play Zarya. Well, that Roadhog, chances are, if they're not fulfilling the role and getting kills, they're just feeding the enemy ult charge and using it against us. As with, if I were to have a Reinhardt and then a Zarya, that could work better. Or a Orisa or a Roadhog, that will work better. So it depends on team composition. Myself personally, again, yes, there have been times in which I'm like, look, I should be playing Zarya. And then there's times where I'm like, I want to play Zarya, but then there's times where I'm like, I don't want to play Zarya. I want to play Hawk. I want to play Orisa. I want to play whatever it is that is necessary in order to win the game. And if I need to change characters, that's fine. I mean, you'll know, like, at the beginning of the game, like, one time I was playing Winston and I dove in and I got completely deleted by a Bastion and a Reaper. And right there, I was like, nope, just switch characters. And then, you know, we won the game eventually. But I mean, that right there lets you know that if you're a one trick, it's better to learn at least one character per category.
Right. But so,
you know what I mean?
My question is kind of more specifically for streaming. So if you're just looking to kind of grow on stream, maybe like regardless of, you know, maybe you shouldn't be playing Zarya right now in your team comp, but does the chat want Zarya? That's what I'm getting at here. Do you think?
Oh, okay. Do you think that yeah. Yeah. I will play Zarya. If they want me to play Zarya, I'll play it. And I think sometimes that can have an impact. But at the same time, most of the people that watch in the chat know that, hey, he might have to switch. You know, and if he switches, that's cool because he's going to play like 30 other games and pick Zarya, at least 29 of them. So,
right. But so that's my point. Like, you know, you see some of these, again, some of these bigger streamers, you go into their chat and if, you know, if Kefri's not playing Widowmaker, you see the chat like, play Widow, play Widow, play Widow. And so it's nice that he has that way to grow as a Widow main, but there's a downside where, well, if you don't play Widow, then you're going to get crap from the chat. So it's just sort of interesting to look at with Overwatch. I think.
Haven't been there yet, and I hope I don't get there. Believe it or not, I think that it's sometimes the opposite. It's more shocking that they want to see you play a different character other than your main because you're already good at your main. They want to see you play something else and succeed as well. So I think that is sometimes the opposite. So if I were to play something like a Reinhardt, they're like, hey, he's playing Ryan. Let's see how he does with Ryan. Or he's playing McCree. Let's see if he could get some shots with McCree because now he's playing DPS. He's not playing a tank. Or let's see if he can heal people. I think it's the opposite effect. But back to what you were saying, yeah, I think it can have an impact depending on the circumstances.
Right.
I think so. Right.
Okay.
I think so.
Awesome. So I have another question here. This is one that I'm sort of interested in because so Overwatch is one of those games where, you know, you're in the midst of a team fight, you're playing, like, especially playing DPS or something, it can get really hectic. And you're trying to keep track of everything going on to make sure you hit your shots. You gotta, like, pay attention to your teammates and the enemy team. And then if you're a streamer, you got Twitch chat too. So how do you balance staying engaged with Twitch chat while also trying to perform well in a game like Overwatch? And, you know, chatting with your team while chatting with the stream as well. That's hard.
It is. As you guys may or may not know, if you have never seen me play Overwatch or seen the game in general, it's very fast-paced. It's chaotic. You're talking to everybody at the same time at all times. And then, yes, I do have my chat. I basically have my window. Like, I run a 3-monitor setup here for my chat and my stream. So I have my chat on my right monitor pretty much parallel with my eyesight. So I can look here and, like, glance over and see my chat and then glance back at the game. And in a blink of an eye. There are times where I will miss stuff because I'm so focused in the game, but I will go back and be like, hey, I'm sorry I missed that, or else I'll bring it up. But there's a lot of times where I will actually go into mute on my game and know that I can still focus on my game while looking at my chat and then get back. But back to what you were saying, how do I manage that? I honestly don't know. Multitasking is something that I'm good at, and it just comes down to one of those things to where if you play a fast-paced game, you might be able to move fast in your chat and read it real quick. And I also do a lot of speed reading too. Like I actually took a college class a while back as far as speed reading. So then that way I can just look at it real quick, go back to my game, whatever it may be. But in a chaotic environment like Overwatch, there are times in which you might have to say, look, chat, I'm going to focus on this game because my team needs me. I will get back to whatever it is that that you want me to answer. In most cases, the chat will communicate amongst themselves. But then if there's a question that they do have for me, I will scroll back up and be like, I'm sorry. Here you go. Let me go ahead and answer those questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes chat probably wants to see you playing well rather than talking about whatever to them, right? Sometimes you see that in really high tier streamers. Another question related to that. So do you have any certain like tips in terms of, times that you found are good to talk to the chat? Like maybe points of a game where you're at some point on a payload or something like that, or just, lobbies, things like that?
Well, definitely the lobby, because the thing about Overwatch, it's about composition. And if you don't have the right composition, you're going to get slaughtered. There's times in which you will have 3 DPS, 2 tanks, and 1 healer. And sometimes it doesn't work. There's times where you have 3 tanks, and again, 1 healer, and maybe a Symmetra. That's not going to work on offense either. So I really communicate with my teammates in the lobby. There are times in which we have ults and you have to coordinate your ult. That's the thing. That's another thing that you have to do. You have to coordinate your ults together, because if you don't, and someone such as myself shoot a grav when no one's there, which has happened quite a bit. Sorry, everybody. I apologize in advance for that. Or you shoot something and you don't hit it. You have to start all over with it. And then you have to discuss like, hey, should I play this character again because you're dying too much? Or do I continue trying to play this character and try to grind through? Or, there's times in which we have actually said, what can we do? Like we're stuck, and we just get slaughtered. There are times in which we just get absolutely slaughtered. But there's times on the payload where it's like, hey, look, we need to go ahead and plan this out. Or no, there's just times where we know that we're just going to go ahead and dominate the other team to where we really don't have to communicate much. But a lot of the times, every time I would say, you will hear someone talking saying that, hey, this person's low on health. Hey, I need heals. Hey, can you go ahead and help me with this person? Or this person doesn't have this ability. So what those are called, guys, is called call out. And you will hear, it's chaotic. If you watch the Overwatch League and you hear those guys talk, I don't know how we do it, because 6 people are talking at the same time. You know what I mean? And you're like, what do I focus on? But then you just get this mindset of, hey, he said this, let's go with this and focus this one target and then go to the next and then go to the next. And I guess to answer your question, we're talking all the time. I don't think there's a certain period in time in Overwatch that you're quiet unless the game is over or that someone's really toxic or salty. Right.
I meant more like with the Twitch chat in particular, not the teammates.
Chat.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought that you were talking about game chat. Twitch chat.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with Twitch chat, it varies. It varies. There are times. I mean, I try to do it all the time, but you can't. Like if I'm on the payload and then yes, the payload is pushing, I could go ahead and take that downtime. I could look at chat. Definitely in the lobby, I could look at chat. That's not a problem. I thought you were talking about the game chat in general. In Overwatch, I'm sorry. But yeah, in the Twitch chat, yes, by all means, definitely lobby, definitely on payload. When there's no enemies around, I can look at chat. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Awesome. Yeah, just I've noticed for sure there are certain points in a game where, and other games too, that are fast paced. There's sometimes some little downtime when you can find that time to talk with Twitch chat. So
yep, absolutely.
Awesome. So let's talk more about networking with Overwatch. Have you found any good ways to? I mean, I don't really know. You can kind of tell us if you have other Overwatch streamers that you play with, like streamers in particular. Maybe if you've met any before through like game nights, Discords, tournaments, anything like that. Maybe.
Well, I haven't played with any because I play on console. Most of them play on PC, but I have met quite a few. So last year, I was one of the lucky people to go to BlizzCon 2017, and the very first person I met is my favorite streamer, actually. So I'd like to give a shout out to him right now. That's Valkia.
Oh, nice.
I met him. Yeah, I met him at BlizzCon. He was getting his badge, so we sat there and we chatted for a while. So I watched Valkia. I met Iddqd. I met Kefri. Wow. and I saw XQC at the World Cup. Sure, I met him, got a picture taken with him. I met Loser Fruit, and I want to say Dr. Disrespect was there, but I didn't run it. I didn't interfere with him. But yes, I do watch a lot of the streamers, and believe it or not, I look at their techniques and some of the things that they do, because some of them will actually educate you as they're playing. Like Iddqd is a perfect example. He's like, look, the reason I did this is because of this, or the reason I do this is because of this. And same with Emong. Emong is, I don't know how he stays positive 100% of the time. And I mean, I don't know how he does it. And I want to get to that level, but he educates everybody as far as like, hey, this is what I did and this is why I did it. And yes, I do see those streamers, and I watch the Overwatch League every week, all the time, every time it comes on. So that's a big part of where I'm able to learn a lot from this game.
That's awesome. So with those streamers you mentioned, have you kind of copied a little bit of what they do in terms of maybe, do you educate your viewers a lot with stuff? Or maybe, you mentioned a lot of names there. Is there anything that you've kind of copied from their streams that you liked a lot, whether it's personality or ways they have the stream laid out, anything like that?
Not necessarily as far as my actual stream and being laid out, but more or less trying to be a positive example. A lot of streamers out there can be pretty cool, but some of them have a personality that can be very toxic. I don't want to bring toxicity to Overwatch. There's already enough of it. You know what I mean? You play with some of these people, and you get in the game, and you ask them how they're doing, and then they're just like, yeah, you know what? F you suck, blah, 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 your mom, this and this. I want to try to be different. I want to try to set a positive example in Overwatch. And yes, there are times in which I will get flustered, but I won't get upset to the point of where it's like, hey, you know what, you suck, or no, you're bad and whatnot. I mean, there was one time in which, and I'll just say, yes, my son was toxic, and I kicked him out of my own party. I will say that did happen. But as far as a streamer aspect, I really haven't copied anybody, because I'm my own individual. I want to be me. I want to be this person that people are like, hey, I want to go to CJ's stream because CJ does this better than this individual. I want to be that person that someone looks up to when playing Overwatch, which is what I'm getting at. And if that is me being a positive individual and trying to encourage people to keep on grinding, keep on playing the game, and then yet being nice to everybody. I mean, it's not a fake persona. I'll tell you that right now. It's not a fake persona. I am a genuinely nice person until you give me a reason not to be a nice person. And even then, it takes a lot for that to happen. So, I mean, again, when it comes to personalities, this is just me. I'm just a nice person.
Just being positive for sure. Yeah, I totally get that. Awesome, man. Well, cool. We're kind of wrapping up most of the questions here. Last big one I sort of have for you is, let's talk about platforms a little bit. So you are, you said you're mainly a console streamer. You're trying to move to PC. Haven't been able to quite do that yet. Do you have any maybe advice for people, or just some experiences in terms of, you hear a lot about people who play on console and do really well with Overwatch, but then get a lot of crap for being a console player. Like I have a couple of friends who are top 500 on console, but everyone kind of writes that off as, well, you're a console player, so it doesn't count. Do you experience any of that? Any stories there?
Not yet. And believe it or not, and I'll say this to everybody that is watching, Overwatch is Overwatch, okay? It doesn't matter you played on PC. Doesn't matter you played on Xbox One. Doesn't matter you played on PS4. You play whatever version of Overwatch you want to play on. And don't let anybody tell you different. Because 95% of the time, people that play it on PC, they're going to be like, oh, master race, yada, yada, yada. And I will say this. There's a big skill gap between console and PC. I will say that 110%. So I play on console. I do pretty good. I got on PC, and I'll flat out say it, I got my ass stomped. Like, bad. I got whooped. And right then and there, I knew I would. I went in there with this mindset, like, I'm going to play it on PC. I'm going to give it a shot. And I got my butt kicked. But don't let that discourage you from whatever platform you want to play your game on, okay? Gaming is gaming. Whether it's on console, whether it's on a handheld, whether it's on a PC. whether it's on a cell phone. If you want a game on whatever platform it is that you want a game on, do it. And don't let anybody discourage you from what it is that you want to play on. Period.
That's awesome, man. I think you said it perfectly. Yeah, I mean, if you're a good player, then just show it to people, right? Regardless of what you're playing on. So you could be playing Fortnite on Android or iPhone, because it's not on Android yet. For example, yeah, I totally agree with that. Cool. So let's kind of wrap up the discussion here. Last big question here.
Yeah.
So I asked the same question to everybody at the end of the interview, but I'm going to kind of twist it this week because it's Overwatch.
Oh, you're going to twist it.
A little bit, yeah. So if you give one piece of advice to a brand new Twitch streamer about looking to grow, hit maybe 10 viewers or so, and specifically they're an Overwatch player, they want to stream Overwatch, what would you tell them? What's the most important thing to know as an Overwatch streamer?
As an Overwatch streamer, very first thing, never give up. I will tell you that right now. There were plenty of times in which I was like, you know what? I don't think I could get good at this game. I just don't think I can. I'm going to quit. Don't quit, guys. Just don't. Just keep grinding. That's all I can say is keep grinding. Have a set schedule too. I can't stress that enough. You have streamers out there that like to stream, but they don't happen to have a set schedule. I think that's important because people want to see you. If you're streaming, people want to see you stream on a specific day. They take time out of their day to watch you. That's important. It's kind of like a TV show. You don't see a TV show not being on at a specific time. Like the Jay Leno show, it's on the dot, 11 o'clock or whatever time it is in your time zone. Make that the exact same as your stream. Make it at a specific time. So I've been late the past couple of times because of family things, and I apologize. And if things like that happen, write an apology. Get on your stream, say, hey, look, I'm sorry, things happen and whatnot. But get a set schedule. And as an Overwatch player and a streamer too, and I'm just going to talk about the stream aspect now, you want to have a great video setup. You want to have a great audio setup too, because it's one thing to have everything look good and not have anybody hear you, and vice versa. I mean, people want to be able to see what it is that what you're playing, and they want to hear what you're saying. So you want to establish that balance. And as an Overwatch streamer, that's definitely important because you're always talking in Overwatch. There's not one time in which you're not talking in this game. So again, I cannot express that enough.
Yeah, you should be talking.
Right. If you're not talking in Overwatch, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I really don't. I really don't.
Absolutely. Well, pretty much all that stuff that he just said, guys, applies to anything, regardless if you're streaming Overwatch or anything else. Yeah. Set a schedule. Don't give up. Be consistent, like you just said. That's stuff we hear every week, but that's how you grow on Twitch. So exactly. That's why I brought that up. When you said as far as Overwatch, I was like, I'm just. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes for sure. So awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. That's sort of all my questions for today. So we will open up the chat questions now for anyone who has a question for me or CrazyJI, probably more CrazyJI. Just tag at GreenChord in the chat. Make sure you tag me so I see it in big bright red. And just let me know what your question is, whether it's regarding Overwatch streaming, Twitch streaming in general, or whatever. We'd be happy to take your questions now. So I see one from Snoophog already.
Yeah.
It says, so for Jay and you, always interested in how you go about handling toxic teammates, and or how do you get the team to engage in voice chat? It's interesting.
All right. This is going to be 2 parts. First one, team chat. We'll go over that one first because toxicity, yeah. So in team chat, the thing is that you really can't force anybody to join chat. And that's the bad thing. And it happens on all platforms too. I think that some people may not want to join team chat because there's some people that might be insecure as far as their voice, or they're not used to talking to other people. Can it be discouraging? Yes, just because we don't know. We don't know what's on the other side of the spectrum on that. You know what I mean? That person may not want to talk. Can it affect the team in the game? To a point, yes. It really depends, because there have been games in which no one has said a word and we've won. And then there's games where everybody talks and we lose. So it's just one of those things. So I try to encourage everybody to join team chat. And even if you don't have a mic and you go in the team chat, at least you can hear everybody else say that, hey, attack this target, get this, can you heal me, etc. Now for the second part, toxicity. I don't put up with that crap. I'll tell you right now, I just don't put up with it. Perfect example. That would have been 2 nights ago. There was a guy that comes in the game, and immediately there's someone on our team that picks Widow. Immediate. This guy throws a conniption, just a fit about it. And I'm like, how are you going to write this person off if you haven't even played yet? You know what I mean? This Widow might be the bomb. They might get some, might own some shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sure enough, they get in the game, they start wrecking house, and they're doing really good. And then they keep on dying and dying, but then this person switches to Ana to help us out. Well, we get to the lobby, and this guy is just going on and on and on. And I'm like, look, man. And I just told everybody to shut up. I wasn't even nice about it. At that point, I was not nice about it. I was like, look, you need to shut up. And I said, you don't get to talk to anybody that way at all because of the character that they pick. You just don't. You know what I mean? There's a difference between picking a character that you want to play in order to win and picking a character that you want to play in order to throw the game. And I know that all of us playing Overwatch for almost 2 years now know the difference. So again, with Toxicity, I try to be the ambassador, I guess, of Overwatch as far as being able to try to calm everybody. There's times in which I have calmed people down. There's times where I even scolded people. And I'm like, look, man, you don't talk to anybody that way. And you know what? I did it the other day. I said, look, you don't talk to anybody that way. And you know what? That person shut up. They got real quiet. They were mellow after that.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm like, yeah, I don't take that, dude. I mean, why should you? I mean, it's a game that you want to communicate and have fun with, not to people and make their life miserable.
That's great, man. I just love the fact that you're coming out as like a dad. Like, hey, you don't talk like that.
That, you know what?
That's
I get
great.
called Dad 76 sometimes and Old Man Kyle's and whatnot. Yeah. So, I mean, again, that's the dad coming out in me. And chat will say that too. As a matter of fact, I need to make an emote that says like that or something when that happens. That's what I should do.
That's awesome. Snoop Hogg, hopefully that answered your questions, man. Thank you for that. See no one from Mr. Pure Instinct. He said, I've just become interested in Overwatch. What should I do to start learning which character I should play? I have a big FPS background and I love sniping / being distanced from enemies. Also, should I stream this process or wait until I'm better at the game and know more about it?
Again, this is going to be two-parter. Well, when you first get the game, the very first character they make you learn is Soldier 76. He's more of a Call of Duty style player where he can run, he has helix rockets, and he can heal himself. So you want to start off with that character first. Then you may want to branch off into something such as a Widowmaker, because that is the character that you like to play distance with, which, by the way, I love Widowmaker. I have no problems with Widow. Widow is awesome. But the thing is, and I will say this, is that a lot of people will look at you like, hey, how come you're... Because she's not she's not a good fit for every map. So that's where you want to learn other characters such as, Afara. Because myself, I'll even admit it, I started playing Widow and I found out that Widow is not the fit for me. I found out that tanks are the fit for me. So a character that you may think is the fit for you may not be the right character for you. And you can only do that by experimenting yourself. I mean, you might end up playing Farah and love the way that she could play because she can fly everywhere and has great mobility, but you may not like her because hit scan characters kill her. You might like the even support. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't like the support. You might be able to set the bar on your stream like, hey, guess what? I play Ana now. I'm a support character. I play Mora, I play Ana, and as a matter of fact, the new character comes out in about 30 days, Brigitte. You might be able to learn her and be one of the very first Brigitte players in order to, get better. Should you stream it? Yes, I think you should. I really think that you should. Whether it's through your PS4 or whether you have the equipment, stream it. I say that because in that way you could get feedback. If you want it, you don't have to take it, but it's good. Feedback is always good. Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, depending on how they say it in a negative way, it could be good for you. So yes, I say stream it, and I say try Soldier 76 first, then try Widow, and then you might like May. You might like Reaper. You know what I mean? It just really depends on what type of character that you really like, because I thought I was going to like Widow. I can't play Widow at all. I like the character, but I can't play her.
You're also on console, so that seems a lot harder.
yeah, that too. And I did play her on PC, and she is a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, love her.
Yeah,
sorry.
She's awesome, dude.
Thank you for that question, Pierre, and just get into it, man. Started. I see another question from Veloc TV. It says, GreenChord, is Hanzo the best hero? What are your thoughts on that?
No.
Just no.
Absolutely
just no.
not. All right, I will say this: Scatter Arrow is going to be disappearing for anybody that doesn't know. They're actually replacing Scatter Arrow with another ability that I have not seen yet, and then yet they're giving him a vertical jump ability. And I guess this is supposed to be in effect in April sometime. I'm not sure. I think that is going to be in April. And as a tank main, I'm glad they're getting rid of Scatter Arrow. You should not be able to kill Zarya in one.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. So to answer your question, no, he's not the best hero.
Absolutely. I see a real question from IT Guy here. He says, CrazyJI, how do you handle a newbie to Overwatch wanting to jump in and join a game? And I'm assuming that's in relationship to streaming. So if you're, basically, are you someone who encourages people to jump in with you who are new, or do you prefer to kind of play with more experienced people, more competitive stuff?
Well, you know what? I haven't had anybody that has been a noob join my game, and I hate the word noob, but that's exactly what everybody says. Beginner is what I'll say. Noob, whatever. But I say that you have to test the waters first before you actually dive in. Myself, I've had some of my viewers actually come in and play, and some of them actually love to play competitive and they stick with me, but they have experience in the game. If you're getting the game and you just now get the game, chances are I'm going to be like, hey, I want to play competitive, because what's quick play? You know what I mean? I hardly ever play quick play. But that being said, there will be times in which, like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and play some quick play. Perfect example. I will use this as an example. There was someone that did come into my chat and they wanted to play. And at the time I was a diamond player and they were gold. So I couldn't even play with them. And I made a promise. I even made a promise. I said, you know what? I will play with you. I stopped my competitive play and played 2 games of quick play with that person just to make sure, and held a promise that I will play with them.
That's awesome.
And they were very happy that I even did that. So
yeah, is that person still around?
To be honest, I don't know.
Well, that seems like a good way to put time into people and see if they want to stick around more. So,
that's one thing I will say, is that when I make a promise, I don't like to break it, guys. That's just not me being a streamer. That's just me being a human being. You know what I mean? If I make a promise to you, I want to fulfill it.
That's awesome. I'd say a related question from Master Primo 5, who sounds like he might be your son. I don't know. It says,
yes.
Why do you play comp all the time and not quick play or arcade?
Because I want to.
I don't blame you, man. I'm the same way.
Because I want to. Well, you know what? I did play some quick play the other night, and I am going to be playing more quick play to learn Iddqd. But I like the competitive spirit. I'm a competitive person. I like to compete. I like to enter tournaments for games, and I just like the competitive aspect of it. I think I learn more through competitive. I think I just do. I think that when it comes to the communication and the learning curve of competitive, sometimes you just don't get that in play.
Yeah.
You just don't sometimes. And, sometimes people like to throw a lot in, well, not to say they don't throw in competitive, but I just like competitive. That's the only answer I have.
That's awesome. No, I'm the same way. I mean, I just love competitive stuff.
Yeah, see, they should make a version of just competitive Overwatch, no more modes.
Yeah, that's it. I'll be down. A quick question from Snoopog. He says, what do you think of the new Sombra changes? So for anyone who doesn't know, I think her spread got reduced, so she's more accurate with that now. Her hack is faster. She doesn't heal off health packs anymore, and some other small things. I think the translocator lasts longer now or something. So.
See this face?
That's your thoughts?
Sombra's very overpowered right now. She is extremely her hack is a lot faster, and like you mentioned, the other changes, translocator is 20 seconds instead of 15, spreads better. They're actually in the process of nerfing her right now, and they said that if she is hacking you and you interrupt her hack, she has a 4-second.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's actually going to help. They were saying as far as line of sight as well, because there's times in which she can hack you through poles and through walls and things like that. They're going to fix that. And part of that is with Tracer's recall. There's times in which people will be Tracer, they'll recall, and she will still hack you during the recall. They're going to fix that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So Sombra right now is very powerful. She is extremely powerful. And if you think that's the bad just wait until you see these Reaper and May changes coming up here in the next month.
Oh yeah, I've been loving Reaper lately personally.
Oh man, so you know about the Reaper changes?
Yeah, they look really good.
Oh man, he's gonna be so strong.
I'm excited.
So strong.
I'm excited. Awesome.
As a tank main, I'm not excited.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm on the DPS side, so I'm happy to be able to kill some tanks for once. Cool. So anybody else have some questions? Let us know. Dark Troll, yeah, CrazyJI has a little bit of feedback coming through the speakers. I guess.
Hold on. How about that?
Should hopefully help. I heard myself a few times. It sounds a little better now. So
is that better?
Hopefully it's been not too bad.
All right, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know McKittens has a question that I don't see in the chat. So if you don't mind just re-asking that, man. I don't actually see a question from you. But yeah, so we have a couple more minutes here. If you guys have some last minute questions, just tag me at GreenChord. There's a question. So McKitten says, what's your opinion on alt accounts? Since Mallet and I, that's his girlfriend, are stuck in gold elo hell. We know we are better than gold, but the SR system punishes us so hard for a loss. Interesting.
You know, that's a good question. I think that it's okay for you to make multiple accounts. And the reason is that, you know, you might want to have an account that where you want to learn a certain character on. As long as you don't throw games. Don't throw games, please. I'm begging you, don't throw games. But if you want to learn other characters without you caring that your SR gets low and things along those lines, I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, hell, a lot of the streamers out there have like 4 or 5 accounts. I mean, look at Aimbot Calvin. Look at Iddqd. Look at even DeFran. Even DeFran has like 3 or 4 accounts now. And yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I think it's okay for you to do that. Elo hell it's bad, dude. Like, I've been in Diamond and then I've been in Plat, and I can't get above Diamond, and I hope to change that. I really do.
So you believe elo hell exists?
In some way, shape, or form, yes. But you know what, though? There is always room for improvement. And it starts with you. And then it starts with your teammates.
Gotcha. That's a huge discussion for another day. But basically, yeah, he's fine with the alt accounts. So, and I have one too. I think nothing wrong with them as long as you're not using them as a way to grief people, basically. So
Right.
Question from GamerDad NC. He says, is this the kind of game a streamer can get into once in a blue moon, like once a month? Or is it too frustrating on the learning curve to pick up? Would my teammates get toxic for being so slow to learn? Interesting.
That's a good question. That is a dang good question. It depends on your learning curve and how quick you could develop and how good you get. You know, I mean, there's always that saying, get good. But in order to get good, you have to put in the time and effort just like anything else. As far as people being toxic, I think the problem with Overwatch is that everybody expects everybody to be on this same level. That's the problem with this game. Not everybody is going to be on the same level. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a tier system of a top 500 or a grandmaster or a master or diamond. You know, I mean, you have people out there that are stuck in diamond, such as myself, that can't get to master or grandmaster. You know, but those people who are top 500s, they do put the time and the effort and to making their gameplay better. And the people who can't get there, they shouldn't be blamed for that. They shouldn't have to feel any sort of repercussions of not being able to be that high and feel the toxicity of another player. I think that's not fair. I think that's ludicrous. It's asinine, and it's not cool. It's not cool. So if anybody gives them any feedback, just push back on them. I mean, that's the thing, is that when people are toxic, people, I think, are afraid to push back.
Mm-hmm.
These people need to stop taking the toxicity and push back, and let them know, like, look, I'm not you. You're better than me. That's okay. And if you are better than me, instead of criticizing me and making me toxic, teach me. You know, plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to react to toxicity for sure. CrazyJI sounds like he's on the side of, you know, calling people out on it, and even if it's like a dad, you know, just telling him, come on, be better than this and be helpful to me rather than just insulting me, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, I'll call you out on it. I really more, because at first I didn't, and then one day there was this guy that was just toxic to the entire team, and this was back last year. Dude, I called him out on it, and everybody was like quite surprised. And then you hear this one individual in the game who's like, guys, all I want to do is just win, and I felt so bad for him. I'm like,
oh man. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm kind of more on the side of just, you know, mute the guy who's being toxic and just ignore him. But if you find that calling somebody out works, and you do it in a way that's not just, you know, returning toxicity with more toxicity.
Right.
That can work, I think. So, Gamer
Like,
Dad,
there's
hopefully.
times in which I will actually ask nicely, like, "Hey, why did you say that?" Or, "Hey, that's not necessary." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are times in which I will just mute. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I don't have time for it. And just as a fair warning, guys, I'm going to let you know something, okay? So when you mute a player, that doesn't mean that they cannot hear you. They can still hear you. Just to let you know, what the mute option does is that it prevents you from hearing them. So remember, if you mute someone and then you start talking bad about them, they can still hear you.
And the team can
Remember
too.
that.
So yeah. Hopefully that helps you out, Gamer Dad. He says, teach me. You can definitely go by Crazy's stream, guys, if you want to learn more Overwatch and specifically how to be a Zarya main or tank main. He will be the one to help you out. So.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm more than willing to help anybody and everybody. I mean, I want to have fun as much as you guys. I love the game. I love the atmosphere. I love all of you guys. And for everybody watching, because I'm now looking at my chat, thank you so much, guys. I really do mean it. I really do.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a great guy, guys. Great guy, dudes. Anyway, moving on here. I see one from Iddqd, aka Duck, our full-time streamer. He says, for CrazyJI, do you mostly play solo or with a group? And you play on PS4, right?
I do play on PS4. I do both. I will say that me doing solo, I felt the wrath of my SR declining quite a bit. I was at 3165, and I did some solo queuing, and I got down to 24 and some change. That tells you that team composition is very important. I like to do a group of people because when you do a group of people with your friends, it's a lot more fun. You can poke at each other and say whatever you want without having the toxic individual in the group or, you know, the bad apple, the bad seed. When you get a 6-stack, I will say this, sometimes the games could get a lot harder. Man, there have been some games where we got in there and we just got smoked. But we learned from it. You know what I mean? And then there's times where we go in the 6-stack and we just run these people. So, yeah, again, mainly play on PS4, and I do both. I do solo as well as groups. I don't care if it's a 2-stack, 3-stack, 4-stack, 6-stack. I just want to play. I just want to have fun and play the game.
When you're streaming, do you find that having a certain number of people with you is easier or harder to keep the stream entertaining? So maybe do you find it easier to engage when you're just solo playing or with like 2 or 3 as opposed to 4 or 5 people?
I think it's the same. I think it's the same regardless of how many people I have, because I'm me. And, you know, that's what people come to see, is that they come to see the streamer, but yet at the same time to have the other people there, they're like interested, like, hey, who's that player? Like there's times in which my son will play and I tell him, like, hey, by the way, that's my kid that just got that play the game over.
That's cool.
And they're like, what? You're not old enough to have a kid and whatever. You look like you're only 30. And I'm just like, nah, man, don't worry about that. But I mean, it just depends. I mean, myself, I don't think it matters. I think that I just, I just want to entertain you guys, and I'll make sure that you guys are having a good time, whether it's solo, whether it's 2-stack, 3-stack, 5, 6, whatever.
Awesome, man.
So it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's just my own question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I've found with certain games, I'm kind of on the side where if I have 1 or 2 people with me, it's a lot easier for me to stream effectively, whereas 5 or 6, I kind of get just overwhelmed by everything. But I think there's definitely ways you can get around that and still be consistent. So
yeah, you know what? I do that because I like the grind. I like the grind. I like a challenge. That's why I think I do it. I've always been the type of person to challenge and push myself.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a little kid. And I think that's where this whole streaming aspect comes in. It's like, hey, I'm going to solo queue and I'm going to see what I can do. And I'm going to push myself. And sometimes I push myself a little bit too far, and I paid a price by losing over 700 SR1. So
right, but you still came back. You didn't get defeated by dropping down to gold. You're now back in plat, and you're on track for diamond. So I mean, the key is to be challenged, but not just to be overwhelmed by it and defeated by it, I guess.
Exactly.
Cool. Awesome. So that's most of the questions. I see a lot of people, just thanking you for questions and asking to play with you eventually. I know I saw Doc and McKittens and I think some others talking about that. So make sure you guys go check him out on Twitch. His link is right under his picture. So go follow him, and he's streaming a lot. Are you streaming today, by the way?
Yes, I am. I am going to stream. And as a matter of fact, guys, because I'm already up and everything is just about done, normally I stream late. I stream about 9:30, 10 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Time. I think I'm going to change the game a little bit. I think I might actually do the stream a little bit early if I can, like around 6 o'clock Mountain Time, like 4 hours early. And I want to do it for you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys coming to the channel. I love the support. Even just dropping by and saying hi, that means a lot. You know what I mean? Saying that, hey, my day was good. I ask you how your day is. And I want to tell you guys something right now, that if you feel that you need to talk to me, even on a personal level, outside of Overwatch, you can. Okay? Message me. I will be that dad. I will. I really will. I've been through a lot of things in my lifetime to where I will be able to provide you some guidance and some feedback and things like that. I mean, I am a dad first, a gamer second. And again, if you guys want to chat, if you guys just want to hang out or talk, yeah, please message me. Don't be afraid. I'm not a person to just push back unless I'm just like, hey, by the way, I'm busy, because I am a dad with 2 kids.
Right.
And, but other than that, if you guys want to talk about anything, please don't hesitate. I'm here for you guys. That's what,
awesome.
That's something that a lot of streamers don't do. Yep. They see people, they interact with people, but sometimes that's what they want to do. They just want to not interact, and they just want to, you know what I mean? I want to interact, and I want to get to know you guys. So please, if you want to, talk to me, please.
Awesome. Good talk to him, guys. We are right about an hour now, which has usually been on the show, but there are a lot of questions this week, so that's great, though. Good problem to have. So we'll take maybe 2 or 3 if you have time, Crazy, to answer a few, and then we will wrap it up here. I see one from Bossy Cow 84. Says, when will you start streaming other games, and what games will those be?
I will say this, 420, there's an awesome game that comes out. It's called God of War.
Ooh.
I would be playing a lot of God of War. God of War is one of my favorite game series of all time. So I will definitely be playing that. I stream some Secret of Mana as well. I need to get back into that, actually. And I want to say it's the 13th of May. I don't know if you guys heard of this game or not. And I don't know if you heard of this producer. I'm a huge fan of David Cage games. There's a game coming out called Detroit Become Human. I'm all over that game. All over that game. He made games that you may have heard of, such as Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. If you guys have never played any one of those games, I advise you to do so. They are great titles. They're story-driven games, which means that you don't get to do a lot of kind of like RPG aspect of roaming around and things like that. But they just make you get into deep thought. And I just love David Cage games. I've always have.
Yeah.
So I'll be streaming those 2 games. For other future games, I will be playing Days Gone when it comes out. That's a big one. Death Stranding, if and when it comes out, it's a Kojima game, so that may not come out till like 2021. Kingdom Hearts, if it ever comes out. Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm waiting for that one, man.
That's a big one too. So yeah,
awesome.
I will be doing other games as well. But I like Overwatch because it's one of those games where it's like, hey, it might be a different experience every time when you get it, every time when you play it.
And it's competitive, man. You gotta have that competitive grind.
It's that competitive spirit.
Yep, absolutely.
It's like, I want to do it. I want to play it. What other questions can I answer for anybody?
I think I got like one more from McKitten's. We touched on it a little bit, but he just hopped in recently. He said, with Overwatch being heavily saturated with streamers, like we said earlier, how do you stand out from the crowd? Somebody probably asked this already, but yeah.
You know what it comes down to? It comes down to personality. And it comes down to commitment, I guess. A lot of people will go out and I don't want to put anybody on blast, man. That's not my job. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to put someone on blast, and I hate to do it. Okay. So as you guys may know, there is a particular streamer by the name of XQC. Okay. Great guy. Like, I met the guy at BlizzCon. Awesome guy. He gets a lot of viewers, bar none. I like the guy to a degree, but at the same time, he could be extremely toxic. Chipsa could be toxic. I don't want to follow that trend, guys. I want to set a positive example on my stream. And I will say this, is that if I'm not setting a positive example on my stream, I'll shut it down like Negan. I'll just be like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Today's not a good day. You know what I mean? But I want to be different. I want to be this streamer that everyone's like, hey, CJ's going to play Overwatch, and no matter what happens, even if he does get grumpy, I want to have a good time. I always want to have this positive mindset, and a lot of that has to do with knowing and just being like, hey, just play the game and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that mentality. You have to have that mentality 110%, because if you don't, you could get in the game, you could get upset, you may say some things that you may not want to, some things may slip. That has not happened with me, and that will not happen with me, because I will watch what I say. You know what I mean? And most important, don't take it personal. Sometimes, you know, like if someone says that you're full of shit and you suck, write it off. Who cares? Play your game. You play your games for you to have fun and to entertain people. You're a streamer, but you know, you're not going to be able to please everyone. You're not going to be able to. That's just the way the world works. You're not going to be able to please everybody, but you do what you can to make those who really care about you, you go out of your way for them. And that's what I want to do for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. That's well said, man. I think just, you know, like you said many times this episode, be positive. Just keep bringing that to your streams and stay consistent. Yep. Do whatever you can to network with people, and every little inch counts, sounds like.
It does.
Awesome. Well, guys, that is going to be our show. So thank you for coming out, and thank you so much, CrazyJI, for coming out to the show, man. It's been fantastic.
I want to say thank you to you guys. I want to say to all my True fam, thank you so much for having me and being part of the team, guys. I love all of you. You guys are absolutely amazing people. So again, thank you so much to all my viewers out there. Much love to all of you. I will be on tonight, and I cannot express how much you guys really do mean to me. So thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I'm looking at the chat, and I just see the chat just
lighten up, man. So where can people find you if they want to follow you, whether it's on Twitch, social media, etc.?
So you can find me on twitch.tv/CrazyJI. That's with an I at the beginning and an I at the end. You'll know because you'll see me with this big cheesy smile. There's a photo of me there.
Selfie game is on point, I'm telling you.
Selfie game on point. And then you can also find me on Twitter. Same thing, twitter.com/CrazyJI, I at the beginning and at the end. Instagram, same thing. Same thing on Instagram. And I'm working on a YouTube page right now. You can find me on Facebook. And as a matter of fact, if you go to my channel, I actually have all my social media links displayed. So you can just click on them and it will take you straight there. And I hope to see you guys. I really love you guys. I really do. And I'm not just saying, I really care, and I really do love you guys. So again, True fam, all my viewers, subscribers, followers, lurkers, I love all of you. Haters, I love all of you too, because if I have haters, that means I'm doing something.
That's awesome, man. Definitely go check him out, guys. You said he's streaming later today, so if you want to see him in person, an actual streaming, everything he just talked about, go check him out. We are going to be switching over to Doc next, going back to him. But you know, if you're streaming later today, we might send some people your way after that shift. So stick around for that. Guys, this has been StreamKey, our show again, where we teach you how to improve as a streamer every week on Twitch. If you enjoyed it, please go check out some other episodes that we have. I just linked it in the chat. You can go follow that. We have 21 episodes now with all responsive streamers, some great content. And I'm really excited to keep doing episodes like these, in-depth on games like Overwatch. Maybe we do Fortnite and whatever, League of Legends, CSGO in the future. That'd be really cool, I think. So
yes, that would be cool.
Hopefully you've enjoyed it. But until next week, guys, we will catch you later. So,
thank you, guys.
Adios.
Thank you. Bye.
But we're taking the point. We're taking the point. They're not paying attention. Oh, get the Orisa. She's won.
Oh no.